Hello watch enthusiasts, and welcome to Watch Chronicler. Today I'd like to produce my monthly video about 5 interesting new watches released over the past month, and I must say, this particular time I was spoilt for choice. As a result, this video contains a range from the rather mysterious new Hamilton chronograph to a controversial new Chopard and a beautiful new gold Nomos. Please do note that this video will be shorter than those which you've seen here before on the channel, because the full feature is now available at watchchronicler.com. Before that, however, I'd like to announce that watchchronicler.com, the news source for sharp, in-depth articles and videos on watches and the design, technology and people behind them, is now live. Take a look at watchchronicler.com for all the latest news on the watch world, and look out for daily articles covering everything from the history of ceramic watches to an explanation of Rolex's overwhelming success. Do also note that I've not included the new Bell & Ross BR05, nor the new James Bond Omega Seamaster in this video, as they're also already covered on the site with their own respective articles. Do remember to like, share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to always be notified when new content is available. And if you want to be first to hear about new articles and videos, and also see some interesting macro photography, then also follow Watch Chronicler on Instagram. Aquadive is a brand with a very rich history amongst early dive watches in the 1960s through the 1980s when they were forced to close their doors. As a result, their brand identity is very deeply rooted in the era of high water resistance 1970s dive watches with eccentric and very recognisable cases. They've recently announced the release of the newest addition to their collection, the Poseidon GMT. As has been the case with Doxers in the past, this watch is the product of a collaboration with the Swedish diving equipment firm Poseidon. Founded in 1958 and now the purveyor of diving gear to the Swedish royal family, Poseidon was the first brand to produce single-hose scuba regulators, thus making them the ideal counterpart to Aquadive. Returning to the watch, which will be sold in a limited run of 300 pieces, we're presented with a 42mm barrel case with a very finely brushed surface and adorned with polished bevels to bring out its curves. The beauty of this shape is that it offers a large diameter whilst keeping a 49mm lug-to-lug length, which is wearable for most. With the screw-down crown, the watch also is able to offer 1000-metre water resistance, effectively as deep as any diver would ever need to go, considering that the record for experimental saturation diving rests at 701 metres. Towering above the case is the bezel, which, due to the slim mid-case, does not make the watch overbearing. In true Aquadive style, it features matted and polished surfaces for visual interest, whilst offering 120 clicks and a ceramic insert. The dial is matte black with a strong luminous treatment on both the hands and the markers to add to this very clean design which is extremely legible. And this gives a very modern side to what is a somewhat vintage-inspired watch, which I think is a wonderful balance and is very, very well executed on this timepiece. And to separate the GMT function from the rest, which fundamentally is less essential than the fundamentals of reading the time, the hand and the chapter ring are coloured in the Poseidon yellow for ease of reading. Inside the watch's German-made case, the watch features the well-proven ETA 2893-2 Swiss automatic movement, which, whilst not offering an independent hour hand, does offer a very competent second time zone. It also assures durability for years to come, thanks to almost universal servicing, and gives a smooth 4Hz sweep to the second hand. All in all, this Aquadive really promises to be an impressive alternative to Doxer, especially with a competitive price of £1,400 in the UK market. The next piece in this video is something of an enigma, as it has not, to my knowledge, been fully announced, nor have its specifications been widely distributed. This is the new Hamilton Chrono-Matic 50, a watch which marks the 50th anniversary of the famous Calibre 11. The original Calibre 11 was a movement released in 1969 as one of the contestants for the crown of being the first automatic chronograph movement, and is not to be confused with the modern Tag Heuer Calibre 11. This movement was created by a collaboration of Hamilton, Heuer, Breitling and Dubois-Dupraix. It was composed of a Buren micro-rotor automatic movement with a Dubois-Dupraix chronograph module placed on top. Strangely, the watch which Hamilton have recreated, though, never used the Calibre 11, but rather used a GMT variant of this calibre, which was the Calibre 14. The watch in question, which this new piece is based upon, is the Chronograph E, which was released in 1972, and featured a rather spectacular brushed case. The stainless steel case of this watch is immense at 48.5mm in diameter by 51.5mm from end to end, but admittedly to a Speedmaster Mark III owner like me, it's absolutely stunning. The case is largely brushed with a matted crown and a very heavily box-domed sapphire crystal over the top for vintage effect, and offers 100-metre water resistance. The dial is equally complex with a reverse panda arrangement, an internal tachymeter and a countdown bezel operated from the left-hand crown. For this re-edition, Hamilton have replaced the world time function with that tachymeter. Internally, the watch features the Hamilton H31, an automatic chronograph movement derived from the Velujis 7750. It features a horizontal sub-dial layout displaying the running seconds and the chronograph minutes, with the date at 6 o'clock. The power reserve has been extended from 46 to 60 hours, and due to the new orientation, the quick-set date operates from the black pusher. In truth, my only complaint is that it offers neither the GMT function nor the 12-hour chronograph of the original, but otherwise it's a really great choice, especially one which should be serviceable for years to come. Offered in a limited run of 1972 pieces, for a price of £2,150, it's not cheap, but considering what you get for that, I think it's a great deal for a third of the price of the original. There is remarkably little to be said about this most recent Nomos, the Metro 33, since it's a watch which offers a delightfully simple package. Designed by Mark Brown, this could be the 21st century's answer to beautiful 1950s dress watches, combining the modern urban world with simplicity and purity. Shrunk to a delightfully dainty 33mm size, this version of the Metro, with its stippled crown and beautiful wire-shaped lugs, is presented in 18-karat rose gold with a subtly domed sapphire crystal and sapphire caseback. Through the front, one is greeted with a delicate silver-plated white dial, with a very modern and sober style of marking. The hands are rose gold and pseudo-syringe shape, whilst the minute markings are purple, a delightful little touch. This is a watch for the purist and offers symmetry thanks to its small seconds. Mechanically, this watch is as simple as it seems. The movement used is the Nomos Alpha caliber, an in-house movement loosely based on the architecture of the Pissur 7001. It's fully decorated and, due to being manually wound, is beautiful to look at with visible blued screws. This 17-jewel movement also offers a 43-hour power reserve, a perfectly acceptable specification for such a delicate dress watch. The new Metro 33 offers something new to a customer as, whilst not giving an elaborate movement, it does give a solid gold dress watch for £5,600, a much lower price than previous gold Nomos models, and with something more delicate and more simple. Possibly the most controversial of releases this month was the new Chopard Alpine Eagle, a stainless steel luxury sports watch with an integrated bracelet. And I think you can already see where I'm going with this one. But first I'd like to highlight the history of this new piece, although do take a look at the full article where I tackle the rather sizable elephant in the room. This new Chopard is based upon their 1980 release of the Samoritz, a luxury watch which featured an integrated bracelet and a screwed bezel. This style, which has been dormant for a few years, has of course now emerged as being immensely popular. And whilst there are many accusations which could be levelled at a watch not too dissimilar to the AP Royal Oak, I don't see any issue with Chopard resurrecting one of their own designs from the period based upon popularity. And as to the question of whether it's wrong or sacrilegious, no, it certainly isn't. Is it unimaginative and a bit derivative? Well, perhaps so. However, once that's out the way, this is actually a very interesting and, I reckon, very well conceived watch. It comes in two main families, the large and the small, with diameters of 41 and 36mm respectively. The large model comes in steel or steel and gold, whilst the small version comes in a myriad of variants using steel, gold and diamonds, thus showing two distinctive families within the collection. In keeping with Chopard's ethical commitments, the gold used is ethically sourced, and the steel is rather an interesting choice, because they've used Lucent Steel A223, which is an alloy which is 50% harder than conventional 316L, whilst also offering superior reflectivity for a more premium appearance. The dials are beautifully textured with a gentle spiral, whilst the date is offered on the larger version only. As one can expect from Chopard, the detailing is excellent, and the hands are impeccably designed. Where the bracelet is concerned, we're presented with a rather beautiful row of flat links, which are connected by hidden joints which can be removed with screws. I find this to be very elegant in a way of modernising the original design, whilst the ears of the Samorit's original bezel are echoed in the flanks of the case and the crown guards. Mechanically, Chopard's prowess is unmistakable, and each of the two sizes feature different in-house movements, both of which are cost chronometer certified and automatic. The smaller features the caliber 09.01-C, which beats 7 ticks per second with a 42-hour power reserve, and the large uses the caliber 01.01-C, which gives 8 ticks per second and a 60-hour power reserve. Both movements are very well decorated and feature attractive anglage as befits this brand. With prices starting at 9,760 Swiss francs for the smaller and 12,450 for the larger, It's undoubtedly not badly priced, but I can't help but be left cold by the design due to its evident interest to latch onto a market trend rather than creating a watch which is distinctive and which really will mark this brand. The final watch in the video was, in truth, inevitable, as the final and most elaborate watch in the 25th anniversary series from Lange and Söhne, which commemorates the 25th anniversary of this brand's resurrection after the creation of modern Germany. For many, the Lange one is the most perfect expression of this brand's approach to watchmaking. With its decentralised display, sharp angles and sober design, it's the zenith of Teutonic aesthetics. In this 25th anniversary form, this tourbillon version of the Lange one has a large aperture cut into the dial in order to view the tourbillon in addition to the hacking function and the sapphire date wheel. Otherwise the dial is silver, and across all print and thermally treated hands, blue reigns supreme, as is the case across this 25th anniversary range. If you turn over the 38.5mm 18-carat white gold case, which is only 9.8mm thick, one is greeted by the stunning in-house caliber L961.4. Seeing a Lange movement is one of life's great joys, and this really is no exception. This 51 joule movement with a 3-day power reserve is largely covered by a large plate, yet even here the striping and gold chaton are exquisite. This movement is made from uncoated nickel silver, thus giving a very warm tone. A highlight of this watch is the use of diamonds as the jewelling on either side of the tourbillon in order to reduce friction. Uniquely for this limited edition, the two cocks at the bottom of the movement are hand engraved and coloured blue with a depiction of the large date displaying the number 25. This both celebrates the anniversary and mimics the displays of the watches shown when Lange relaunched on the 24th of October 1994 in order to have the correct date in the following day's newspapers photographs. Of course, as the culmination of these limited editions produced by this remarkable brand this year, the price is incredible at €165,000 for each of the 25 pieces produced. However, this makes it no less exciting or beautiful to admire from afar. I will, however, conclude the video there, but do please tell me in the comments down below what you thought of the video, and also do head over to watchchronicler.com for further information. So remember to like, share and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. This is Arm on the Watch Guy from watchchronicler.com.